Hey guys, I just picked up another 41 FL, first year FL, first year 1200. The FLH was not introduced until 1955. This is a 41, so no, it's not an FLH, it's an FL. This bike has, to me, an interesting history. History is known on my end until 87 when it was titled. The gentleman I got it from, I did some asking and some back and forth. Evidently I knew his father back in the day, and he is now 38 with a 9-year-old little girl. What's important is in your head you still think you're this young kid, but I've been doing this motorcycle shit for damn near 40 years. It's close enough, you might as well call it 40 years. It's within a few months. So anyways, back in 1989, I made a deal with Mort Wood, who is now passed on. He was in his 60s at the time, for a 47 Knucklehead for 15 grand with 4,700 miles on it. Beautiful original paint bike, all the jewelry in the world, blah, blah, blah. Original bill of sale. Just a gorgeous machine. Well, after I made the deal with Mort, he went around telling everybody to listen for the next 6 months, because I was going to pick it up at Davenport, which I did in 90, how he fucked the California boy for 15. Now this bike was purchased in 87, according to the title, by the gentleman's father who I bought it from. And my memory is either I went and saw it, or I think he came up to see me with the bike and brought his young son, who was then about 8 years old, who is now 38, follow? And I asked the gentleman if I knew his dad. He goes, yeah, you did. So I think he remembers that to some degree. And anyhow, he brought the bike up, I think. At any rate, I remember seeing a green bike, is my memory, a green bike that the gentleman thought for sure he had an original paint that wasn't. I was in Latuna Canyon at the time, the east side of the San Fernando Valley. And chances of another green Knucklehead in that area, because I got it just down the street from there in Northridge, and glad at Fern's back door actually, just 2 days ago. I'm sure it's the same bike. There's just so many green 40s Knuckleheads in that region. I'm sure it's the same bike. So anyhow, 30 years later, and dramatically more knuckle knowledge later, I told him at the time it wasn't original paint, and I showed him the Mort Wood bike to go, hey man, this is an original paint bike, and that one is not. The guy who doesn't know, it's going to look original paint. It's not. It's an old paint. It's not what I would call a repaint. A repaint is I'm purposely putting a paint job on so I can ride my bike and blah, blah, blah. What I think happened to this bike, you have to understand, this is a Stant gas cap. I've talked about these before. This is a Dietz headlight. Well, if you opened up a 1947 headlight box, maybe you got a cycle ray in it, and maybe you got a Dietz headlight in it. And the same thing with your Eaton gas cap. Maybe you got a Stant gas cap, because the production shortages post-war, which I've documented on the YouTube, and you guys been watching and paying attention. So, okay, in the 80s, the military war caps, the green ones, even chrome ones, they were $5. They were everywhere. The same cap that is now $400 or $500, except it's used, they were $5, and there were so many you couldn't even buy them all. You just walk right by them. A pre-war gas cap was $100. Well, $100 in the early 80s was half a month's rent. That was a lot of fucking money. Well, a cycle ray headlight, an old stock one, was $100. A Dietz headlight was $5. So somebody went around this bike at some point and took off all the early stuff. Early cycle rays gone, early horns gone, early brackets gone, early gas caps are gone. It's got a later original beehive, but it's the later one with the screws. It's not the early one with the little clips on the inside. You follow? So they went running around stealing the cool old shit and then put this fake paint job on. It was white originally, if you look under the gas caps. and sold it to the guy as an original paint bike. And he didn't know any better and bought it. Which 99% of the guys out there today, this is sitting at a swap meet and I wanted to be an asshole like some of the other guys, no names. Oh yeah man, original paint bike, wink wink. Most people would believe it and buy it, but it's not. It's an old paint that I think was painted to make somebody believe they were getting an original paint bike. That's what I think. But it's all Harley shit. Everything here is Harley. There's nothing reproduction on it. Not a bit. It's all era shit. Every bit of it. It has matching belly numbers. Now, I haven't kicked this bike over, so we're going to do it live on the camera. As live as a recorded video is. And see if it kicks through. Don't know. Let's find out. Ooh, got lots of compression. Okay, we got a runner. You got compression, you got a runner. This is an FL. It's got lots of compression. So we got a runner, okay? So battery, gas, oil, spark. It's that simple. It'll run. 41 is different from 40, you follow? So let's take the camera and go and look at it, and let's have a look and see what we got. Now, this is a 41, so it should have sweated forks. We have welded forks, okay, and we have the outside zert fitting. So somebody's put this later fork on it, still an inline fork. Still has the early correct rockers here, right? Obviously, I didn't pull the tire off to see what the Kelsey Hayes stamps are. Don't know, don't care. I can't read the stamping on the carburetor, so I'm not sure which M74, whatever it is, M35, don't know. It's a 41, correct timing cover, correct oil pump, correct distributor. It has 5-fin barrels, so it's a 41, first year for the 5-fin barrels. That's fine, has the 2 7s on it, it is matching belly numbers. Correct oil tank. Now, this is a 41. At some point in 41, they put a tab here for the ground. This one has a drilled hole here. It probably came that way. It might have had off the oil line like a 40. Don't know. But anyway, that's where the ground is now. So it is a correct frame at least. So it has the correct short rib case. Only the last 200 or so of the 41s had the long rib case. Beautiful numbers. It does have a California title on non-op, so it's currently in the system. So we can show you the numbers. Beautiful numbers. All right. Now, this shifter here is a Chicago motorcycle supply, if I recall, or possibly Atlas. So you have a reverse shifter pattern with a later shifter. It's a kit. There's a little arm here that they used to sell with it. So that is an era accessory, that's fine. It does have very mild rust in the tanks, and luckily the petcock is not rusted in. Yay. So chances are the Speedo has a black ring. So I'm not telling the Speedo to check the date code. It's a white face Speedo that didn't happen in 41, it was a black face. So chances are this was a war era replacement with a black ring. He probably blew up the Speedo and just bought what he could get. So I do believe this is an Atlas seat and probably Atlas bags as well. There's no markings, they're certainly not Harley. So, I mean, everything on this bike, there's nothing reproduction, not a bit of it. It has a Superior muffler, which Superior sold them to several other people. Could have been Atlas, could have been any, who the fuck knows where he got it from. You know, there's a lot of manufacturers back in. But it had a chrome package on it. The only thing I could see that was re-chromed in recent times, for whatever reason, is this taillight bracket. It's an original taillight bracket, but that is a re-chrome. The rest of it appears to be original chrome, as far as all the chrome goes. So, that's that. I can't really think of anything else to add. I mean, it's a beautiful bike for what it is. It's just not a high-end OP. So every time we look at it, we're like, but it's not green. Wah. I'm sure you guys can relate. Anybody's actually had a cool bike and sold it the second they get one that's not quite what it was. They're like, but I missed the other one. Who the hell wouldn't do that, right? So I'm not going to start it. I'm not going to ride it. It don't fucking matter. It's going to bring the same amount of money whether it goes ka-chow, ka-chow, or it doesn't. I don't need to hear it run and spend a few $100s to hear it run. I've had plenty. It doesn't matter. And it's got that early case, and it's obviously not been running for 30 fucking years, so you can ride it and blow it up. That's all on you. I didn't get Jade started either. Same reason. I'm done blowing them up. So that's that. So send me an email, huntingharleys@gmail.com. That's huntingharleys@gmail.com, huntingharleys@gmail.com, or call me 661-904-8512. 661-904-8512. 661-904-8512 if you want to have a beautiful knucklehead in your collection. Because it's still a really pretty bike. It's still a really cool bike. But it is not Greenie's caliber. It is not an original paint caliber. This is the kind of bike you want to get on and ride and not worry about fucking it up. This is a rider. Perfect rider. You follow me? A high-end bike like Greenie, it's like, you fucking, where the fuck are you going to replace the shit? You go ding a fender or a tank. You ain't. This bike is fixable. It's not a problem. You follow me? This bike is a fixable fucking bike. It's a good rider. Get on it and ride the shit out of it. That's what you want? Here it is. Give me a call. Bye. Oh, by the way, that's our new little pit bull over there. That's Phoebe. Phoebe, what's up, little girl? Are you Daddy's little girl? Yes, you are. Yeah, Daddy's little girl right there. That's Phoebe. And Indigo's sleeping over on the other side. Where you at, doodle boy? Where'd my Indigo? There's my doodle boy. There he is. Yeah, they're both still here. Both loving doodles. There's that doodle boy. And there's the Phoebe. Yeah. Okay, see you guys.